Miigwetch. My name is White Eagle, and we have just come from observing the mother eagle and father eagle as they prepare their eaglets to leave the nest and to take flight. This is a very significant time in the life of the eagle, and this is connected to our journey, because as spiritual beings, as light beings, we are likened to the eagles, that one day we leave the nest and we take flight. We have returned now from the eaglet's nesting place, and we are ready to return thanks to our Creator for the blessings of the day and for the opportunities that we have had to be able to walk upon the face of this sacred star called Mother Earth, and for all of these experiences that we have had throughout this day, which has given us the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to inwardly digest the lessons that are divinely planned and given to us daily by our Creator, in order that we might fly to higher branches of enlightenment and understanding, and there to pause and to inwardly digest with our minds the truths in the ancient teachings. We now are going to have a traditional smudge. And what we will do is we will take the abalone shell, which will be one of the elemental 4 elements. It will be the ocean, as the abalone shell comes from the ocean, which is the water. And we will put the 4 sacred herbs together in the abalone shell. And the 4 sacred herbs are sweetgrass, tobacco, sage, and cedar. And when these are lit, they will be offered to our Creator in thanksgiving. The smoke will take our prayers up to Creator, returning to our Creator the thankfulness for this day. In order that we do the smudge properly, we must first put our 4 sacred herbs into the abalone shell, and then hold the shell up over our heads, asking Creator for Creator's blessing. And then the shell is lowered, and then we light the sacred herbs, creating the fire as one of the elements. And as the fire begins to light and ignite the 4 sacred herbs together, we can smell the essence of the sweetgrass. We can smell the essence of the sacred sage, which in my shell today comes from the Queen Charlotte Islands and the Haida people. We can smell the sacred tobacco, which is a healing herb. And last but not least, we can smell the cedar of the forest. These are the 4 herbs and are the elements of the earth. So now we have water, fire, earth, and now we will take the feather. My feathers are eagle feathers that were given to me by a shamanic teacher. And these 2 feathers I have used in ceremony throughout my journey. These feathers were used by chiefs in the Northland and in the U.S. One chief's name was Chief Miigwetch of the Red River Valley, in the Manitoba area. The other feather was used by Tecumseh, who was known to be a chief of peace and a wise chief. So I use these feathers only in ceremony, and after ceremony they are always closed and put back into the cloth, and they are kept covered until the next ceremony. When my feathers are opened in ceremony, it is very common to have eagles or hawks or feathered children to fly over, because they sense the vibration of the sacred feathers and the resonance, and they will come and fly over to see what's going on. So now we hold the shell up to our Creator, we bring it back down, and we light the 4 sacred herbs, and by taking the eagle feathers, or whatever feather that you have that you're going to use for the ceremony, and we cross it, cross the shell 4 times for each of the directions, allowing the feathers to pass through the smoke to be cleansed. And then we face the grandmothers and grandfathers of the East. So we stand facing the easterly direction, where grandfather's son is born each day. And the color on the medicine wheel of the East is yellow for the sun enlightenment and the beginning of a new day. And for a new beginning, and the creature that guards that ancient door is eagle. So eagle is the guardian of the doorway to the east. So now we raise the shell and we spiral the feather and the smoke up to the heavens, sending it back to our Creator, honoring those grandmothers and grandfathers of the East who has given to us our awakenings, our beginnings, and the spiritual illumination of our lives and journeys. To those grandmothers and grandfathers, we honor them by holding our hands to our hearts, and together we honor them by saying Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. We now turn and face the south, and in the south is the grandmother and grandfathers who are on the red road, and the creature that is guarding that southern door is coyote and wolf, the teacher in humor. So there must always be humor. We must never lose sense of our humor in our journeys, as it is a very healing power to humor. And we take the feathers, again spiraling the smoke upward into the sky. And as the sacred smoke leaves the shell and begins to move up into the heavens, we use the feather and call upon the ancestors to breathe into the wind and into the sacred herbs, sending it spiraling high up to Creator in the heavens. And to the grandmothers and the grandfathers of the South who have given us our journey on the red road. And it is said that we are born through our mother's blood, and red is the color of life. Red is the season of love and emotion, and we are taught to love unconditionally, without judgment and without prejudice. To those powerful grandmothers and grandfathers, we send them our thanks and show our respect by placing our hands on our hearts and together saying Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. We then turn to the west, facing the west door, and that is where the sun will make its way across the sky and take its rest in the west. And Grandmother Moon will then share the night sky, watching over the children, like two eyes, one eye in the daytime and the other eye at night, which are the eyes of the Creator. So to the west door and to the Dreamtime spell, and the sacred creature that watches over the west door is the bear. And the bear guides and protects us through the Dreamtime journey in the night. And that Dreamtime is for retrospect and to go back into our memories and there to dream and have visions. Young men have dreams, old men and women have visions. To the grandmothers and grandfathers of the West who have given us the Dreamtime spell in our journey into the darkness and great mystery, we honor them by sending the feather and wind to them, and we honor them by together placing our hands again on our hearts, one hand over the other upon your heart, and together we say to those grandmothers and grandfathers of the West, Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. Miigwetch is an ancient term that is used in many Native communities, meaning thank you. We then turn to the north, and we face the north, which on the medicine wheel is the color white. The west door is black and is indicative of the nighttime, dreamtime. Now facing the north, we face the color white. And in the north, we think of the snow and the icebergs and the polar bears and the creature that guards the ancient north door is the white buffalo. And so we look to the grandmothers and grandfathers of the north who have taught us that when we are old, we are wise to pass on our lessons that we have learned along our way and to share those lessons with others. It is in the north that we become likened to the salt of the earth, and we lose ourselves as elders, and like salt that loses its savor, we lose ourselves in the Creator's love and release all of the things that have been learned and given to us in our journeys so that it might be passed on, enabling those children who have yet not come from the stars, whose little bare feet have yet not touched the kitchen floors, but will one day soon, their footprints and footsteps will be heard on kitchen floors. To those grandmothers and grandfathers, to the elders of the north, who teach us the difference between intelligence and wisdom. It is said that intelligence without humility is arrogance, but intelligence with humility is wisdom. To the grandfathers and grandmothers of the north, we now honor them and show our respect to them by fanning the sacred feathers and allowing the sacred smoke to spiral high up into the sky. And then by placing our hands on our hearts, together we say Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. Then we bring the shell to each one of the children who have now formed a circle. And as in native teachings, we are taught that everything is a circle. And so that as we gather in circle, we begin with the sacred smudge, asking each person individually, as the shell is held in front of them, and the sacred smell of the 4 sacred herbs spiraling upward into the heavens is given to them, and they draw the smoke over their heads for cleansing and for releasing. 3 times our hands are drawn over our heads, and then 3 times we draw the smoke to our hearts, and then we stand in silence and we say Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. Then we move to the next person in the circle, repeating the same movements, sending the smoke towards them as they raise their hands over their head 3 times, and then drawing the smoke 3 times to their hearts. And in a moment of silence, then saying, Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. At the end of the ceremony, we then ask Creator by holding the shell again to the heavens and spiraling the feather, turning the feather upward, spiraling and drawing the smoke up into the heavens. We ask the Creator to accept this, our prayer of thanksgiving for this day and the opportunity that we have had to walk upon the face of this sacred star, for the joy of being able to have friendship and to connect with other like-minded people, and for the opportunities of being able to come together in ceremony in the spirit of oneness, and to again there to reenact the sacred smudge of the ancient ones. My name is White Eagle. Miigwetch, Miigwetch, Miigwetch. It is done, my children. Now go in peace.